Meet Your Strawman, for Bodhi. July 16, 2019 by Anna von Reitz. I get questions like this on a regular basis and I am trying to funnel up-to-date answers through the state coordinators, but there are still many people, like Bodhi, who are sorting through the copious notes on the historical process that brought us all forward to today on their own, and they are getting confused. This is unavoidable, because 1, we have had to discover the answers as we went, and 2, everything keeps changing. So far in the time that I have been writing my blog, we have gone through 2 national-level bankruptcies amounting to a liquidation in one case and a quick March reorganization in the other, both of which have impacts in terms of what we are doing and how things work. So start right there. Because of the bankruptcies and reorganizations, what was appropriate and workable 3 years ago isn't anymore. The processes we were engaged in then won't work now. Do not pass go and do not collect $200. On top of that, the processes for federal workers and average Joes are unavoidably different in terms of what relief is available. We have 3 different populations here and everyone is in trouble, so we are doing our best to help. You have to be able to identify which group you are in and which processes apply. The groups are federal territorial citizens, mainly military and dependents, federal municipal citizens, mainly federal civil service and dependents, and Joe average Americans. Fortunately or unfortunately, I have addressed the problems of all 3 groups in my writings and tried my best to make it clear when I am talking to or about federal employees, but it can get confusing. Go to theamericanstatesassembly.net website and use the process outlined there. It is the simplest and the most up-to-date for Joe average American, and you won't get sidetracked into past practices or information that only applies to federales. Alternatively, skip all the verbiage and head directly to Article 928 on my website, where all the various documents have been collected, and read through those. I believe that except for the expatriation documents they are all self-explanatory. The only thing tricky about the expatriation documents is that in those, we are not talking about the expatriation of any living man or woman. We are expatriating corporations that were created and named after us. These corporations are popularly known as Strawman. The most important thing you need to know about your 3 primary derivatives that function as Strawman is that they are all criminals as far as the territorial United States government is concerned, and they are all fugitives from justice subject to arrest and prosecution under commercial law. In fact, the territorial government, which operates under the vast bulk of the federal code, has defined all crimes as commercial crimes. They don't address you, the living man or woman, at all. They address only your pre-judged and pre-sentenced Strawman. Since the Strawman are guilty by definition, there is really no need for a trial or a jury. The territorial judge can simply pass sentence and collect money or impose jail time. The first strawman is a cestuike via state trust that is created to contain your assets. This is the one resulting in a birth certificate. This is the one that you return to the United States Secretary of the Treasury or the United States Secretary of Defense or the United States Secretary of State, the same way that you would return an escaped prisoner to custody, using a Form 56 to make them responsible for IT. The reason you do this is to make the government officials accountable to you for what they have created, in your name. They now hold the fiduciary responsibility for the entities they created and foisted off on you, not you, and if anyone summons them they will need to talk to the responsible officials. This creates a settlement date when you leave the debts and the crimes of the municipally owned and operated Strawman behind and reflag your vessels as state nationals operating under the public law of your State of the Union and under the actual constitutions. The criminally mismanaged entities and their debts as of the day you returned them are now back in the hands of those responsible. You, meantime, have reflagged all such vessels associated with you, and declared their permanent domicile to be the land and soil of your State of the Union. This then removes the legal presumption that they are being operated out of Puerto Rico and under the Spanish law of the Inquisition. This leaves the U.S. government responsible for the debts and wrongdoing of the Strawman they created and operated in your name, and provides you with a clean slate and legitimate claim to be operating all your business affairs as an American under the public law of your State of the Union. Neither the territorial government nor the municipal government can continue to treat your name the same way or under the same legal presumptions. You have returned their municipal person to them, and now operate exclusively as an American state national. In case you missed the play, you have used their own system against them. They created these things in your name and used them to hypothecate debt against you and your assets. Now you have officially returned their property to them and made them responsible for the debts accrued, while establishing your own newly refurbished American state entities, which look identical, but which are functioning under the public law of your State of the Union and which are American vessels owed every jot of the constitutional guarantees. So you have the old John Maynard Smythe, who was a pauper owned and operated by the municipal United States government, cast ashore in Puerto Rico and operated under the Spanish law of the Inquisition, and you have the new John Maynard Smythe, an American permanently domiciled in Ohio and operating under the public law of Ohio. You have declared and recorded all this and given notice of it and have the mailing receipts to prove that you carried through on it, so there is really no excuse for any judge or government official to presume anything more about it. You returned the municipal STRAWMEN to the municipal government officials responsible for them, without recourse. And from now on, you have redefined what John Maynard Smythe is and the law he operates under. There is nothing to stop the existence of two John Maynard Smythes, just as there is no stopping the existence of two Albert Michael Donaldsons. The original municipal person was a gift to you, and you have every right to return the gift and to operate your own state franchises in your own name. Understanding this is key to explaining it to a judge or anyone else who comes after you and tries to force you to pay for the debts and crimes of a runaway municipal slave operating under a similar name. The defendant is a municipal corporation that I do not own or operate. I returned the ownership certificate without recourse to a responsible municipal government official effective July 11, 1966, or whenever your actual birthday is, and named him to act as fiduciary. These facts are all recorded and registered. If you have any problems related to IT, you will have to speak to him. I conduct all my business affairs privately under the public law of Ohio. As you can see, the issue is to say, no, thank you, to the gift of these municipal government franchises being operated in your name, and to then redefine the political status of any STRAWMEN that are associated with you, as private American entities. Question 1. In Anna's Steps to Take document, it suggests using a 9-digit code from the registered mail receipt to use as the TDA number. However, the format of the number on my receipt is just 20 numbers, so it is not in the correct format. Where else can I find a 9-digit code to use in its place without accidentally using one that is already in use? I am stuck here because I can't even get the A4V stamp I need made without having this first, and I need it to put in the paperwork as well, of course. It should say registered mail label. I am referring to the 9-digit number that appears on every red and white registered mail label, but please note, we no longer use any A4V process because the United States is now bankrupt and it is illegal to charge bankrupt entities. Question 2. On IRS Form 56 there is a box for identifying number in the top row. I suspect this is my social security number, however there is another box right after it labeled Decedent's Social Security No, which is also the Strawman, I would think. Do I put my social security number in both of these? This seems odd. Also, is it with or without dashes? The way it is worded, it seems like the first would be without dashes and the second with dashes, but I want to be sure. The identifying number is the file number on the birth certificate. Question 3. If I am accepting the title, birth certificate, as payment as the secured party, why am I then giving it back to the government via the secretary? Isn't the whole point of doing this process to take it back from them through this process to put it into my ownership and control as the living man? If I accept it for value from the straw man, then sign it over to the secretary, don't they own it again now? Even worse, don't they own it in a way that I can never retrieve it back, unlike it was originally, by doing this? In a previous explanation of this process I found it doesn't suggest this. When you endorse their birth certificate and return it to them, you are exonerating yourself from the debts of their bankrupt municipal franchise. You do not benefit from holding any ownership interest in their municipal franchise. It is being used as a means to extract value from you and your assets, so give it back to those who issued it and thereby say, no, thanks, to their offer. Then turn the BC over and on the back anywhere right, pay to the order of the United States of America, U.S. Treasury. Without recourse. And again, write by your upper and lower case signature, and date it. This returns the value of the municipal franchise, the debt, to the territorial treasury, where it has to be converted into credit held in your name. Asterisk 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 asterisk. And as I already explained, we do not do any A4V process at all. The United States is bankrupt. Asterisk 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 asterisk. In a different set of instructions I have simply said to stamp it with the A4V stamp in this format. Accepted for value, exempt from levy by my name, all rights reserved, without recourse, exemption ID, my SS number, no dashes, deposit to U.S. Treasury the same to name and SS number, private indemnity bond hashtag AMRI00001 Kentucky Registered Treasury ACCT. Hash number. Repeat. Please listen and think and hear this loud and clear. Asterisk 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 asterisk. And as I already explained, we do not do any A4V process at all. The United States is bankrupt. Asterisk 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 asterisk. What we are doing now is claiming the national credit owed to each and every American and acting as the priority creditors in a bankruptcy. This is now being addressed to the U.S. trustees, and they are being made liable for any failure to clear the books and return the credit owed to the priority creditors. What is debt for the municipal franchises as credit owed to you? What they have tried to do is to claim that you didn't claim your credit and other assets, thereby giving them a chance to make a claim on abandonment and to redistribute your wealth to every corner of the globe while leaving you still responsible for the debts of these bogus municipal franchises. We have said, to hell with that, and shoved it all back in their faces. So get on board, do your best to get your own political status corrected, and join your state assembly.